Hi, I'm Tim Bulot, and welcome to weaponsacademy.com. So recently I've been in the market for an AR-15 pistol, and I wanted to get one of these units that has the stabilizer brace on it. As you know, there's been some controversy about those in the past, but I think for the most part the bugs have been worked out. And you know, my primary reason for wanting this was, number one, was to have another option on the trail on my Jeep trip. So when I'm in the back country, I've got something that is compatible with my second reason, compatible with my pistol. Okay, so I started looking at the 9mm that accept the Glock magazines. Okay, there's quite a few options out there. After checking around, I kind of settled in on the inner Ordnance. Now, there's not much information available as far as reviews about the inner Ordnance 9mm pistol, and the brand that or the model number that I picked up is the M215 9mm KM-7 to be exact. Okay, couldn't really find anything about it, so I started researching the company a little bit. They're out of Florida. It looks like they make most of their stuff in-house here in the USA. They did have some issues prior to 2015, but it looks like everything's pretty positive about the company from 2016 on. So for $700, I said, why not? I'll give it a try, and I ordered one of the 9mm AR style pistols with the brace. So we took it out on the range. I've run about 800 rounds through it so far, so hang in there with us, and when we get back, we're going to take a look at some of the drills and how we compared it to a pistol and kind of put it through some of the paces out at Weapons Academy. Okay, so here it is, the M215 9mm, okay? And this is the complete unit right here. It came from the factory, just a bare upper, bare rail on the top. I've added some accessories to it. So what I want to do first is I'm going to take you through first of all the bullet points on Inner Ordnance's website, and we're going to look at these as we go through them, okay? So the first one that they make reference to is the 7.5-inch barrel that's threaded. And you can see it does have a standard AR-15/M16 Burge cage style flash hider on it, okay? So that's pretty standard there and so forth. And it does in fact have a 7.5-inch pistol barrel. Now, we did some accuracy testing with this, and I shot some groups, so I'll let you decide for yourself how accurate it was. Okay, so we take it down a little bit. Next bullet point that they bring up is it accepts 9mm Glock magazines, and this is one of the things that attracted me to it. So first of all, the weapon's been checked and cleared. You can see that it's got a bolt flag in it, so there's no issues there. 9mm Glock 19 magazine, okay, holds 15 rounds. All right, locks in, no problem. Okay, and then for something with a little bit more capacity, you can use the Glock 30 round magazines. Again, locks in, no problem. Magazine release, and it's back out. Now you can see the magazine release here. It's pretty much in the same location that it is on a standard AR-15, but you can see it's got this lever, okay, that has to give it reach so it can fit the placement of the Glock magazine. The lower receiver is milled. This is not filled plastic like some of the other ones are. This is a milled out lower receiver. Okay, this to me does have potential for a breakage, in my opinion. So it's just something we'll keep an eye on, and it might not be a bad idea to keep that part on hand. So okay, continuing on. Okay, this is the big one here, and this is one of the primary, if not the most primary reason that that I bought this weapon. Now, I've got a lot of time on the MP5. I've used it quite a bit over the years, and to this day in my job I use the MP5. Okay, Inner Ordnance claims, bullet point number 3 here, lower features a functional last round bolt hold open. In other words, the bolt locks back to the rear. Okay? Last round bolt hold open. That to me means that when you fire the last round, this little tab on the magazine right here is going to push up, okay, on a bolt catch of some type, and it's going to lock the bolt to the rear. That's how that reads to me, okay? Now let's get this bolt flag out of here. You can see this is absolutely clear, no danger whatsoever. Okay, bolts forward. All right, so let's try it with the small Glock magazine first. Insert it. It's not locking back. Okay, let's try it with the 30 round magazine. Okay, it's locked into place. It's not locking back. Okay, let's just take a look. Separates just like a standard AR-15. Okay, and you can see the magazine well from the top side. If I insert one of these magazines, let's go with the short one here, into the magazine well, okay, it locks into place, but there is absolutely nothing, okay, that makes contact with it that would cause the bolt to lock to the rear. Okay, there's no mechanism, no device whatsoever that comes in contact with it. So I've got to call into Ordnance because I need an answer on this. I was expecting to get that feature. I didn't get that feature. Now, that's not an insurmountable problem. It's more of a training issue. If you even want to consider it an issue, it's just an extra step that you put in there, and you will lose time on your combat reloads because basically you fire until you get that click and no bang, and then you have to execute mag out, mag in, action the bolt. Okay, and that takes a little bit longer than a standard AR-15 where it's just mag out, mag in, bolt forward, and it locks back, and you can definitely feel lock back. So it kind of programs you to react and flow into your combat reload drill, but we don't have that on this. Okay, so when we get on the range, we'll look at how that affects our times when we're comparing it to a pistol. So that's an issue, and like I said, it says it on there. You can look it up yourself. We've got the website posted here. Lower features a functional last round bolt hold open. Okay, so they're claiming it has it. It does it. Now, the only other thing I can think about, and if anybody has any input on this, by all means, chime in, is maybe the weapon I ordered is, or the weapon I got is, maybe it's a slightly older model but was still in stock, and maybe the newer models have that feature added to them. But we'll see what they have to say about it. I generally do 2 review videos, one over time, and then I'll come back to that. Okay, so the next feature that they're talking about, MIL-SPEC lower parts kit. Yes, I've identified these, and yes, they look like a lower parts in any other AR-15. The trigger is a little gritty, just like a MIL-SPEC trigger, just like a factory trigger, but it's functional and it's reliable. Because it is MIL-SPEC lower, you can drop in basically whatever you want. Changing is a matter of pushing out pins, swapping the part, reinserting the pins, and you're good to go. Okay. Nitride 9mm bolt. Of course, it's got a 9mm bolt in there. And then lastly, the CAC Industries stabilizing brace. Okay, so this does have the thin brace on it. All right, and these are interchangeable, but they're not modifiable, as according to the NFA. All right, in the numerous interpretations thereof. I'm not going to get into that. Okay, I will say that latest interpretations in a letter released about a year ago says that some shouldering of the weapon is acceptable, so people are shouldering them. Nobody's had any issues that we know of. Myself as a law enforcement officer, I'm not going to arrest somebody for shouldering one of these unless they're using it to commit a crime. Okay, so it does have this brace on there, which you can, I don't shoulder it anyway. I would chest it, so to speak. Brace it against your cheek. It's got the strap holes in it here, so if you want to strap it around with a Velcro strap around your forearm, if you choose to use it that way. Okay. The overall length of this is, I already mentioned the MP5. It's about the same length as an MP5. All right, there is a set screw right here on the bottom. Okay, and I guess you can adjust this. You can't do it instantly because you do have to have a tool to loosen that up. I pretty much left it the way it arrived. I don't know how that would negate the legalities of it, but that's just a first look. Okay, all of the features and controls. Okay, charging handle, forward assist. All right, you got your bolt catch and release. You've got your safety or your fire select. Now, on the fire select, I don't know if you can pick it up here. It does show a safe, a semi, and a full auto setting. It does have that here for the 3 little bullets right there, but it's not going into full auto. Okay, that's there for, I guess, if you were to register this and you wanted to modify it to full auto under compliance with NFA or with ATF rules and regs, or it's just for show, in my opinion. Okay, but it does not go to full auto. All right. Now, some of the modifications or accessories that I've added to it, and I just put these on. I bore sighted it before I went out, and that's it. Okay, I've got the Mag Pul MBUS flip-up sights. These are very, very popular. You can get them at a variety of places, and they are functional sights and so forth. And I picked up this Sig Sauer Romeo 5, okay, Red Dot optic. And I don't have a lot of experience with this particular optic. I bore sighted it and I fired it. To me, it's not that dissimilar from any other Red Dot of a quality make and model. It does have flushed and reset control surfaces and so forth, and those are always good. And it takes the flat 2032 batteries, which are common. So I had no issues with it. Out on the range, it appears to be a good optic, but for now we're focusing on the firearm, on the pistol. And then I have this QD attachment, and I'm just going to take this off for now, where I've added a 1-point sling. I'm not a big fan of 1-point sling. Y'all have heard me talk about that before because the weapon seems to dangle, and it's not very stable when it's in the hung position. But I haven't quite yet figured how I'm going to set this up. I'll get back to that, and I may end up going to a 2 or even a 3-point. But for right now, it was a quick and easy attachment change right here to put a plate on there with a QD, and that at least allows me to sling the weapon as opposed to just lying it on the ground. So out of the box, my first impression, it seems to be a well-built, standard run-of-the-mill weapon. Okay, it does come with a M-LOK 4N. I like that because you have a lot of options on accessories, although on a 4N of this size, other than a flashlight, I don't think I'm going to be putting much on there, but that's up to the buyer. It does have some rough milling or fabricating on it. I don't know if you can see these striation marks that are, if I can get the angle just right, but if you look right up and down the receiver here, you can see the finish is somewhat rough. Okay, and there are these marks, leftover marks from the milling and the finishing of the weapon, and you can actually feel those. They're like tiny scratches and so forth. I don't know at what process that was done. They're all striated and going in the same direction there, but I'm considering a Cerakote option on this anyway, and if I do that, that would fix that. We just fill that back in. You'd never know it was there. So, but for $700, I can't really complain. Like I said, my biggest letdown was the fact that this particular weapon did not come with a bolt lock back on the last round fired. So we'll see how that goes on the range. So okay, so let's head on outside. We're going to run some rounds through this and form our opinion on the range. Let you guys form your own opinion. Be sure and leave some comments down below if there's anything that you would like to see done on the follow-up review, the review we do after a couple, 3 months of usage. Then leave those comments down there, and I'll certainly address them. So let's head out to the range. So here is the big question for me, will it charge on a closed bolt? We don't like to do that, but since it doesn't have a lock back on it, and it appears that it did with a full magazine and a closed bolt, it seated and picked up the first round. Okay, so we're going to do an accuracy test with this now from a braced low prone position. I'm at 40 yards. I'm going to work the yellow square, just center mass hold on this, and we're going to go down there and see how she groups. Okay, nice and easy. Good, standing. All right, let's go down and take a look. Okay, that's a 5-shot group, and those look pretty tight. Okay, so there you have it. I mean, that's not a bad group. That's a 1-inch group. 35-40 yards, right at about 40, brace prone position with a 9mm pistol. So it is what it is. Clear. All right, monster can.
Izquierda.
Okay, let's go take a look.
¡Ay! Sí la traspasó. Wow.
Aluminum is not bulletproof. Okay, 15 yards, combat reload drill. We'll run it with the AR style brace pistol first. Remember, we don't have lock back, so we've got to shoot till we get that click. Don't have to, but that indicates we're out of ammo. Then we'll execute our reload. So we'll probably lose some time there again. Shooter is ready.
Preparado.
Time.
6:27.
6.27. 6.27. I guarantee it's going to be faster with a pistol. Losing that second or so because we're taking that extra shot. In theory, it's not going off, but nevertheless. Anyway, 4 impacts, 15 yards. It is what it is. Okay, combat reload drill with the pistol, 2 and 2, so we can compare the times to the brace pistol.
Preparado.
Definitely was faster.
4.90.
4.90.
All right. Stand by. Rubber in. 1308.
I lost a second.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to run the same course of fire once again, okay, and see if I can make up some time. I'm probably going to have to do it more on the reload because when your bolt doesn't lock back, you lose time for your click, okay, for the click but no bang. So that's like a shot that's wasted, but it's not really a shot. And then it's mag out, mag in, cycle the bolt, versus you don't have that with the pistol because it locks back, mag out, mag in, slide forward. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna lose a little bit of time there, so I'll try to make that up on my spread, but so far so good. Let's see what we got here. Okay,
all right, shooter ready, stand by. 14.09.
14.09. So still, you know, second or so difference there. And once again, it's in that reload. Okay. Now, as I become more familiar with it, yeah, I can push it a little bit harder. So I push those last 4 pretty quick. But for me, I'd rather get hits on the target than drop rounds. So we'll keep working with it. And so far, so good. The lockback bolt hold open device would have been a nice addition, but we'll see what Inner Ordnance has to say about that.
Lane up, stand by.
No misses.
20.97.
A little bit better than last 20.97.
Stand by.